Hello, great to have you with us and welcome back to this module exploring the relational principles of a team. In other words, we'll focus on how a team gets on together. Last time we noted the relationships on a team are more critical than the task of a team. If relationship is the root, task is the fruit of the team. The first and foremost principle of team ministry is love. And based on Jesus' command in John 13 verses 34 and 35 for his disciples to love one another, we looked at who we are to love, that is one another, the other members of the team. B, how we are to love, which was based on the model of how Jesus loved his disciples. And C, why we are to love them. Building on the foundation of love, a second relational principle for an effective team is selfless unity. Now, before getting into some practicalities, I'll draw an analogy from the natural world. Emperor penguins can teach us a lot about teamwork. Spending their entire lives in Antarctica, emperor penguins are the only penguin species that breeds during winter. From the sea's edge, they trek along ice for 50 to 120 kilometers to breeding colonies, where the female lays a single egg before returning to the ocean to feed. Her male breeding partner then incubates the egg for over 2 months, withstanding some of the coldest, windiest, and harshest conditions on Earth. The male endures the coldest environment of any bird by forming very tight and compact huddles, also known as the turtle formation, ranging in number from 10 to hundreds. And as they do so, each penguin leans forward into a neighbor. Then they slowly shuffle to the side in a collective spiral, which gives each penguin a turn on the outside and the inside. This instinctive action means that no penguin endures the conditions alone, but shares it equally. The tightness of their bond traps heat inside the huddle, ensuring warmth for themselves, their fellow penguins, and most importantly, the eggs and recently hatched chicks, nestlings. The emperor penguin's close bonds are a remarkable example of our topic, selfless unity. If they didn't have unity, they would be unable to raise their young or endure the ravages of the Antarctic winter. They'd die out. Now, with that illustration in mind, let's focus on a biblical passage that describes the anatomy of Christian unity. Philippians 2 verses 1 to 4, which reads, "Is there any encouragement from belonging to Christ? Any comfort from his love? Any fellowship together in the Spirit? Are your hearts tender and compassionate? Then make me truly happy by agreeing wholeheartedly with each other, loving one another, and working together with one mind and purpose. Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves. Don't look out only for your own interests, but take an interest in others too." Taking the key thoughts from verse 2 here, I propose that a biblical definition of unity on a team is to agree, love, and work together with one heart toward a godly purpose. Two key words stand out in verse 2 that encapsulate the essential elements of unity: purpose and oneness. And if the task of the team is crystal clear, the big challenge is oneness. And I will draw out some practical applications from Philippians 2 verses 1 to 5 and other scriptures on the ingredients of oneness, which I describe as selfless unity. A, working together. Philippians 2 verse 2 says, working together with one mind and purpose. A first action in building unity is working together. And there are many aspects of what it means to work together. And here are a number of key words that describe and define what working together requires. Diversity. Working together recognizes that no two people on a team are the same. We're all different. There's diversity. In his metaphor of the church being likened to a human body, Paul wrote how each of us has a unique function. Everyone has something to contribute. All the members of the body have equal value. There is diversity, but equality, not of responsibility, but of value and necessity. And this is not just true in the local church. It is also true in the context of a team. Therefore, to work together, we need to affirm one another's roles, gifts, and contributions as equally valuable and vital as our own. Harmony. Because there is diversity, there needs to be harmony. Paul urged the Corinthians to live in harmony with each other. I once heard a definition of harmony as diversity working together in love. In regard to church leaders being in harmony, Jesus said that if two of you agree here on earth concerning anything you ask, my Father in heaven will do it for you. The word translated agree in this verse is the Greek word symphonio. The English word symphony derives from the same roots. Symphonio has a general meaning of to agree or be in harmony with. It was used both to describe musical harmony and the fitting together of stones in a building. It shows that when leaders agree together, the Lord hears and will answer. Using the analogy of a symphony, unity in music is not uniformity. The instruments in an orchestra don't all play the one note, but a variety of notes which all harmonize. Similarly, because of our diversity, we all have different parts to play on the team, but it's only when we play in harmony where we'll be truly working together in unity. And all it takes is one team member to be in disharmony, playing the wrong note, and the whole team will be in discord. There may be many reasons why a team member may not be in harmony, such as, for example, a lack of commitment, a bad attitude, no sense of team, no connection with the team leader, or a duplicitous life. But if a team member brings disruption, there won't be clear direction or momentum on the team. Goals may not be achieved, and tasks may not be completed effectively, as the following story shows. In the early 2000s, I was invited to join 20 other senior pastors from around the world at a practicum to learn from a fast-growing church in Hawaii. And because it was Hawaii, I didn't have to pray too hard about whether it was God's will to go or not. And as part of the week together, we had some sports to help build a sense of camaraderie. One day we went down to the ocean to race in two large Hawaiian outriggers. One boat was made up exclusively of Americans, while the other was comprised of those of us from other parts of the world. Now, as an Aussie, I am competitive, and I particularly like to beat New Zealanders, the British, and Americans, so I was determined to try my best. In each boat was a steer person who was the individual giving directions to the rowers. It was important that all rowers put their paddles in together and out together, and for the paddles to go through the water at the same speed. When the steer person yelled left, everybody paddled on the left-hand side. But when he yelled right, then we all shifted our paddles to the right-hand side. However, we had someone on our team who didn't speak English, only Spanish. And every time the steer person yelled left, he would put his paddle in on the right until he realized his mistake and would quickly change. And because our Spanish-speaking team member didn't paddle in rhythm with the rest of the team, we never moved in a straight line but swayed from side to side. Consequently, we never got any momentum, and despite our valiant efforts, the Americans soundly defeated us. Our team was beaten all because one person wasn't in synchronization with the other team members. And this is a great parallel to what happens on teams when a team member is not in harmony or alignment with the rest of the team. On that note, we'll conclude the session. Next time, we'll continue looking at how to develop selfless unity on a team. See you then.